But I mean,
happened.
Interesting.
That's not a controversy. That's sort of
cheating.
Saucy.
But it's funny.
Isn't that not a controversy when
I guess
someone's cheating on someone?
We're like, we don't like, well, the president did it and Bill Clinton.
Felt like a controversy.
We did not like that.
We did not like that.
Maybe you could call it a scandal.
There you go.
Maybe call it a scandal.
Maybe she's amidst a scandal.
If anyone in our audience also has had trouble with their $8,000 TV, then they're going to be able to really learn from this experience.
Audience, you know your back house with the little movie theater?
Pixels.
You're probably like, ugh, my... Go on.
All right. You guys are assholes.
I mean, come on.
I'm also redoing my ADU.
Yeah.
I also reek of privilege.
So what's the rabbit hole?
I don't want to tell the
No,
story
Ned,
now.
we want to hear.
Made me feel bad about
I want to hear it.
buying a cool TV.
It's a very cool TV.
All right.
It's so cool.
You got the switch back there?
Yeah,
That's cool.
of course.
Dude, we're all
Anyway.
like, fuck, this is so cool.
So
Ned,
far.
give me more.
So far, I've spent.
My grandchild will 3 hours on it, and then the rabbit hole goes in, and I'm just customer service after customer service. At one point, I get transferred to someone who handles washing machines. Sure. And I'm like, no, this is not. And like, you know, I finally plead my case and get like a new.
Bitch, we don't want the recipe to your mom, peach cobbler, bitch.
The Try Guys video. And I ran over to Ben Coleman, one of our friends who works there, and I asked him, hey, I want to like zoom in on this part. How do I zoom in? And he was like, who hired you? And I was like, Ned.
And now I want to sit back and relax and enjoy my evening.
Yeah, 27.
I feel like
Feels good.
I'm 35, but not if I close my eyes.
Really?
Like, I just feel like I am excited to be 35. Married, no kids, on the couch with my husband, drinking wine, employed.
Wow. So, but that's how you feel emotionally? You feel like you're there?
I don't know. I have a lot of like 40-year-old friends.
When all of a sudden I hear this agitating, grating voice.
No kids, 35.
Rainy,
Oh.
Good
love
luck
that.
fighting that biological clock.
She doesn't want kids, maybe.
Maybe.
Oh, that's no.
In the sense that, you know what I mean?
Before we start today's episode, I wanted to call out an insensitive comment I made to Rainey last episode about biological clocks. Thank you for everyone who called it out in the YouTube comments. I read them all, and I feel awful. I feel like I've not appropriate for a male boss to say to anyone, but especially a female employee. Thank
Everything I'll say, that makes sense. Because that's the only answer to astrology. I don't know much about astrology, but I've recently learned how to talk to anyone that does like astrology. You ask them something about their sign, and then they say something, you don't know what it means, but then you say, oh, that makes sense. Because of what I know about you. And then they'll start talking. And you just seem like you know what you're doing. Of like a Taurus is about being a bully boy Taurus is.
To be honest, I already forget what everyone else is, and I don't know what those signs mean. Like, I know what Leo means because that's what I am. But when you said Virgo is fun loving, I'm like, oh, cool. I don't.
That's
am I alone
so
here?
Leo of you, Zach. Just like totally taking over Eugene's episode. He had a plan, and now you're like, can we do my plan?
Ned, I know you're being sarcastic, but that's actually correct about Leos.
Hell yeah.
I will say, I do like astrology in that it is sort of like take a penny, leave a penny, where you're like, okay, yeah, I am pretty hot. I'm not that organized.
Yeah, it's true. If something doesn't make sense, you can just connect the few dots that do make sense and backtrack your way into a solution.
Shut up for 2 seconds, fuck me!
Oh boy.
Yeah, well,
That's
Ned,
the
let me put
stars,
it this
baby.
way: Do you like everybody? Do you like everybody on the football team you support, or just a couple of them?
You're right, Miles. You're right.
And it does
The
stuff.
Big Rock does
I will
stuff.
say, the one I do kind of think could be is like your main sign, because based on where you are born in the year, it can change your personality. For example,
Sports teams that have a cutoff in August. Any kid that's born in July is going to generally feel kind of puny because they're never going to be the oldest in their grade when it comes to sports. Have you seen that thing where most NHL players are born in like September or something? Because they're like a whole year bigger.
now back to the astrology.
Well, first of all, how dare you turn my astrology into a sports conversation?
Fine, it's who's the best at.
I was gonna say Miles, but I didn't want an HR violation. The whole thing you guys know what confirmation bias is? Like, if I go in thinking this guy can talk to dead people, the one thing that is like a little bit close, I'll be like, yes, Tyler. Oh my God, you're psychic.
What do you see?
They're having me talk about career. They're having me talk about an aesthetic. They're referring to her and her sister. I don't know if sister and she will work together or work beside one another. I don't know what this is. They're having me acknowledge entrepreneurial around this, and then I feel like your wife might have some entrepreneurial opportunities, but I'm seeing sister, her, career, I'm bunching it together, and then I'm separating it, and then I'm seeing her doing. What does your wife do, and what does her sister do?
My wife and her sister own a business together.
Okay.
And actually, her sister's going off to grad school, and just sort of they're totally changing it up.
Awesome. Well, I want you to know that's great, and and then I feel like we see going on individually, and I feel like she needs to know that she's making the right choice.
Your mom's advice to platform with millions of people rather than like be complicit in my own views of like social topics, especially stuff that's happening right now in the world we live in.
Definitely a challenge, especially, and if you consider our show a comedy cast, it's sometimes you're trying things and you're not sure if they're crossing a line or not. But I think what we always try and do is not to project our opinions onto whatever is happening. You know, we'll make commentary mostly about like ourselves, but we try not to like make a judgment on what is happening. So yeah, we just try not to fuck up. And also
like I said, it's like just do not be a dick, and like you'll be okay.
Right. we don't do a ton of live streams, so you know. I mean,
yeah.
Usually, if you say something awful, you can be like, "Yeah, we shouldn't include that in the video."
But that's just like he only is capable of delivering something that is perfect.
It's so funny.
And then we used to work with someone who didn't edit at all.
Boo!
Fucking bitch, yeah, get his ass, fucking bitch!
Bully boy Tauruses.
Ned, is that why you don't like astrology? Because you feel bullied by who you are astrologically?
That is funny.
Sure, Miles. Or maybe because I think it's all wishy-washy BS.
Bitch, shut the fuck up. You sound like a fucking munchkin.
Were there any underlying meanings when you called Ned a scumbag before the scandal?
I
don't recall. Plead the fifth. Okay.
But yes.
How?
Yup, that's me. Somehow tangentially involved in a trending scandal at my workplace. It's also crazy. Everything that's been going on. Global warming. Geopolitics. My boss losing focus.
How come I had to hear about you having a baby through the internet?
That's a good point.
You don't share. You don't. For as much as you are, you literally talk for a fucking living. You sure don't talk about your private life.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's true. I think that also with the baby thing, I have seen it. I have
Spill.
I have seen people announce their baby like it's a fucking piece of merch.
Ooh.
And I just was like, I am stoked about having a baby. We're having this baby. And also, I'll also say this. We had some new invited people that were new friends that I'm like so glad that we invited. And I'm like, this is great. It's an investment in our friendship's future. Like those people are closer to us now because they were at our wedding, all that kind of stuff. So I think that like, if they're new friends that you really like and you vibe with, that you're like, I can see us being friends for a long time, I think you gotta go for the invite.
And unless like they do something crazy, I don't look at anyone and I'm like, I wish I didn't invite them. Maybe one or two people. But
there's definitely one person that I wish that I didn't invite to my wedding.
One person?
Yeah.
I think
I'll let the audience figure out who that person is. But
yeah, maybe there is one person.
Maybe there's one person I could think of that I wish wasn't at my wedding.
Just one person.
But yeah, so wedding guest lists are complicated. I like that show, but I just thought it was like kind of disappointing and just, obviously people on the internet do not understand anything and it's crazy frustrating.
Yeah.
What? I'll say this. This is
please.
Actually,
No, give me your take.
Do people think that the problem with Bill Clinton was that he cheated? Because that's the take.
Yeah, that's
that
the
I'm
take.
seeing is people are being like, yeah, Bill Clinton got in trouble because he cheated. No, you fucking morons. I'm sorry.
Oh my God. Jesus. Oh, y'all so funny. 나 세상에서 자기 개발서가 제일 싫어 이렇게 저렇게 하는 게 so 니들 단축 대놓고나 말은 잘 믿어 그러니까 그게 소리들이 bestseller 걔네들이 너에 대해 무엇을 알지 너의 꿈 너의 취미 이해를 하니 숨만 돌아봐도 바뀌는 건 참 많지 주인으로 태어나면 노예가 되려 하니 아프리카 좀 춤이다 그딴 비용만 터는 게 제일 문제야 삶에서 장르는 널 맞추고 맞춰